And we are live. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you guys jump on with us. If you do jump on with us, please say hello and let us know that you're on here with me. I am so excited to have Miss Adrienne on here with us. Some of you may know her and some of you may not. So we are definitely going to have a very joyous time with her as she creates a bird. Are you going to create a bird? Or create a bird with us?
Yeah.
Right? I'm
Blue.
so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited because I love birds. I don't know what it is, but God's been like highlighting birds to me for like months now.
Yeah. I love to.
Yeah. And I don't know. I know that there's a special meaning behind birds. I know birds are very peaceful, beings, of course. They're just beautiful beings as well. But there's got to be more to it. There's got to be something more as to why God has been highlighting birds to me lately. So I'll figure that out.
I think they're joy givers. That's what I call them. They're absolute joy givers. They're so beautiful.
I love it. And I've been loving everything that you've been doing, Adrienne. I've been watching your sketches and how you just like, just like so randomly just create such amazing birds. And I'm just loving it. So I'm
Thank,
excited to have you on here with us. Thank you. Thank you. So,
thank.
on that note, please tell us a little bit about yourself first. And then I would love to also hear about your art journey and how that all got started.
Well, I live here in Wilton, and with my husband Steve, we've been married for 33 years. I'm a
And that's in Connecticut, by the
yeah,
way, for some of you that
yeah,
are not in
yeah.
Connecticut.
And I have three wonderful sons who I always tell people my wonderful sons all live in three wonderful cities. They're in California, New York, East Coast, West Coast, and then I have one in Nashville. So they're in San
Wow.
Francisco, Brooklyn, and Nashville, right? So I,
Right. You're all over the country.
oh,
Wow.
yeah, and it's just wonderful. I get to I take every moment that I can to see them, and it's great. So anyway, they're between my husband and my kids. They are my heart, and they're all grown now. My boys are out and about, and it just gives me the opportunity to do more things. And so I always tell people that art found me. I stumbled into this,
Mhm.
and I'm so glad that God brought it my way because I call myself I'm a pastelist, although I am interested in doing watercolors too, and I'll probably one day I can see myself doing oils, but right now pastels and watercolors, they're my thing. And I do some drawings, just some quick sketches, and trying to learn, values with the pencil, just normal graphite. But anyway, I always
Isn't pastels made of oil or no?
well, it's now remember, you're asking me questions. That's what are they made
I
out of?
don't know anything about pastels.
My it's pure pigment. Just look at it. It's kind of like, these beautiful sticks. It's almost like chalk. These are soft pastels. So
Okay.
I don't use the oil pastels, but these are like a nice chalk, and I use them on sandpaper.
Oh,
So this
okay.
is like a 400 grit sandpaper, and so that when I use the pastels, the dust from the pastels, it just rests on top of the sandpaper, and it
Mhm.
allows me to move things around, and you know
Interesting.
so
Okay.
it's
I'll be asking some more
pure
questions about that.
yeah. So you know I kind of make them. I can even make pastels now because I save my dust from my pastels, and then I can just add a little water and just let them dry, and lo and behold, they're nice little pastel sticks.
Okay.
Like,
Very cool.
just imagine yourself going and using sidewalk chalk.
Yep, yep. Okay. Very cool. Okay, so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah,
so
I
yeah,
was
go on as to your how
what
your art started.
showed up on in my Christmas stocking on Christmas Day 2018. I'll
Uh-huh.
never forget. And my husband put some pastels in my Christmas stocking, and I still to this day ask him, why did you do that? Because it wasn't. And he said, well, I know that you love art, you love impressionist painting. And I'm like, yeah, I do, but so anyway, I'm so glad that he did. The Lord was using him to drop into my lap. I didn't even have to
that sparked that interest. Yeah.
to do that. And so I just was watching a lot of YouTube videos. And Kellen, here's the funny thing. Probably by my third painting, like stuff just started selling like crazy.
Wow.
I sell so much artwork and honestly, I didn't do it for that. I just did it because I wanted to learn how to do it. But God, in his infinite wisdom and his sense of humor, that's what happened with me.
Yeah.
Right. So it's fun.
I love it. I love it.
It's been a really cool journey. I'm an artist in terms of I'm a singer. I'm
Yes. So tell us about that, because that was exactly what I was going to say, is that you are creative.
Yes. So, and I've been singing my whole life. So I am a gospel artist. So I do concerts, and I'm also a worship leader. And so music has been a part of my life. And so now with the art, the visual arts, what's happened now is that God is using the visual arts and also creative writing.
Wow.
And bringing that, it's like full circle, because I can go out and still, like I did a concert not too long ago where they asked me to come and they wanted somehow for me to show my artwork. So I did a concert, and all of my paintings were the background that were being portrayed in the behind me, and just being able to use that. And now to do the retreats, like I've been doing some I'm really getting into iconography. And what I want to be able to do is to show Jesus and also people in the Bible who look, I'm doing this for these grandkids that are one day going to show up. They're not here yet, but they're coming, right? So I figured
I'm praying with you on that.
Yeah. No, and I have a specific order that I want this. I'm praying for really great spouses for my sons. And then after that, then I want the grandchildren. But I want, by that time, the time that the grandkids show up, I want to be able to have some beautiful paintings of Jesus and other people in the Bible that look like my grandchildren will look. Wow. So I've been doing some paintings with Jesus, and I did Jesus's baptism and was able to do a retreat on that. And just, God is just amazing. He's just doing a whole lot of other really exciting, wonderful things in art that I never even imagined. So, you know, that scripture when he said he does far exceedingly above more than what we can even ask. I didn't even ask for this. Yeah. But he gave it to me, to be able to share. And so
that's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
What I do, I love to do some birds, and I love being out in nature and just observing. This is the other thing about art. Art has helped me, it has given me a clearer eyes. Like, I never knew there were so many greens. There were so many blues. I just thought, like, oh, the grass is green. But then, like, now I can go out and I can just get blown away by the leaves on a daffodil. Have you checked out the leaves and how the sun hits, and the green and the blue and the light green and the cooler greens? And I never knew there were so many greens until I started doing pastels. Yeah. So I love it. I love what it has done for me. Sometimes I'm driving down the street and I almost have to, like, stop the car, pull off, and just pull over and just soak it all in, because now, like, colors just.
I know. I hear you. We see nature so differently now, as artists. Totally different.
It brings tears to my eyes because it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And this is what art has done for me, just to be able to see all of these colors. And so anyway, I love to do birds. Like I said before, I was telling you about, I'll show you just this, and then like, my favorite, I love hummingbirds. So like I do these, right? And then I do some, like, little haikus on the back. So, like this one says, how can one resist amidst such beauty and scent? dance, hummingbird dance, you know. So like I have like just these cards where, you know, these beautiful birds just come and they just show up at the feeder, and
Oh,
it just
beautiful.
I love it. So anyway, let me get painting, because I'm
I
not those
love it.
speedy artists. I you know,
So let me show them. So this is her inspiration, you guys, for today.
I love bluebirds. We for my birthday.
I love bluebirds too. And you know what? I've been getting them in my yard and I'm so
Well,
like excited about that.
cards
Look
and
at that.
it was 2 birthdays ago.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I want to paint. I want to paint him, and so I got a bluebird house for my birthday 2 birthdays ago,
mhm.
and we get bluebirds, but one has not moved in yet. So I'm praying that this year, you know, the bluebird house is right out there.
I have never ever gotten bluebirds in my yard, and we did this year. I saw this, it was a different bird, right, on my feeder. I'm like, why did the bird look so different? And he was so fluffy and everything. And then I took a picture and I started looking it up. And I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, it was a
it
bluebird.
bluebird. I love. I think they're
Uh,
so beautiful, and I just feel like I love all the birds. I really do, and I paint all of them. But when I say paint,
oh,
I
can't wait. I know.
pastel.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight you.
Yeah.
That way
Okay.
we can see you
So
better.
anyway, let's say like this, you're gonna see me in my rare form here, because I don't draw. I kind of just start putting colors down, and
Oh,
that's kind of how I work.
nice.
So I love working with pastels because of how forgiving pastels are. Just learning to you know, work with color.
Now, this is an amazing technique that you have by doing it this way. I love it.
Yeah, I don't draw. Um, and that's why I started doing the sketches, because I don't really draw. A lot of people, I just start putting colors up, and then
Mhm.
it starts to come, and
It
uh,
comes together, right?
yeah, it's been a wonderful journey, you know, because it's all about, you know, how light your colors are, how dark your colors are,
Mm.
and then also keeping your fingers clean from messing up, you know.
Like the prior pastel that you used, right?
Yeah,
Previous, yeah.
especially wiping my fingers. I'm gonna get this.
So would you then recommend that this paper that you're using, what kind of paper is that again?
This is UArt 400 grit. This is the by grit. It's the type of the
The
thickness
texture of it, right?
of sandpaper, the texture. Yeah.
Okay. And
So,
where can someone buy something like that?
well, I get mine from uh, Amazon. I mean, you can get there's
Okay. You
thick
could probably
flake.
get like a whole package, right?
There's just, yeah, I just get the whole kit and caboodle, you know.
Mhm.
So let me just I gotta fix this.
And do you use your fingers a lot when you
I do. Some people have to be very careful about that, because you know it is sandpaper,
yeah.
and so you want to make sure you're kind of be careful with that. So if you notice, I when I do pastels, I'm always trying to look at the lights and the darks.
Mhm.
So some people work for me with pastels. I usually, you know, just it's just the layers
Mhm.
that I use, and so I'm just messing around here right now. And what I'm also learning is that, you know, it's nice to try to look at something so that even though I know that this is white, that I'm painting right now, I'm not using the color white. It looks like it's white, but it looks like it's white up against these other color. This is more like a soft blue.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to get I think I'm going to get this tree up, at least some of it. And it'll be funny because I'm going to use, this is just the funny part about colors here. I'm just going to bring stuff down so I can have some kind of reference.
So I loved it when you were sharing how how just because of a very random gift that your husband gave you back in 2018, that pastels is like your favorite medium. And
Yeah.
I just love how God works in that way, you know, where he introduces us into something and a journey that we had no idea where it was going to go.
Yeah.
And I loved hearing that about, you know, your art journey as well, because the same thing happened with me, you know, and it's just, I love it. I just love how he works.
Well, you know, the thing about it is that that's what I think, for me, it's taught me the importance of making sure that you stay open and don't automatically close things off, because if we keep our eyes and our ears and our minds open, um, instead of walking around and just saying, oh, well, I don't do that, or I could have taken those pastels and said, thanks, but, you know, look for a little kid in the neighborhood that I could have given them to, and I would
Right.
have missed all of this.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have totally missed out.
Yes, you would have.
Like I'm sure my husband sometimes probably says to himself, "Oh, I wish I hadn't given her pastel." You know, like next month, I'm going to go on a plein air trip to Santa Fe. I'm going to
Yeah,
go. So it's the gift that just keeps on giving to me anyway. So
that's right.
probably
So
think,
for those of you that are jumping on right now, this is the reference photo that Adrienne is looking at right now for what she is creating with her pastels. And it's a beautiful bluebird, so gorgeous. So I wanted to make sure I shared that one more time.
cool. I'm just trying to get, and see, that's what's so nice is because, you know, sometimes I go really fast and sometimes I don't, but I don't usually talk and paint at the same time. So this is a lot of fun. But
So Holly says, oh, wow, beautiful bird. I love birds. Holly is an artist friend of mine that lives out in, oh gosh, don't tell me, Holly. Just went blank. She lives in, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. It just like went blank with where she lives.
Texas, you have a lot of friends.
Way over there out west.
Colorado?
Oh, that's terrible. Okay, Holly, you can say it.
Ohio? Alaska?
Oh my gosh. It's like at the tip of my tongue. That's so funny.
So you see what I'm doing? I'm kind of like, just if you look at the colors, I mean, you know, depending on what time of day, the light this picture was taken, what time of day, you know, I'm just messing around.
I love it.
I get a little darker here. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and what I was also saying to you is that, you know, just the importance of working out the you know, the colors. You just, I'm learning, you know, the lights and the darks, the light, the medium, and the darks of all the different shades colors that I deal with. That's what I'm learning, like with pastels, and now learning that this part. That's why it's been helpful for me to do watercolor now, because now I understand that if I'm going to make it a three-dimensional, you know, it's light, medium, and dark. So I
Yeah.
always try to find those different colors or shades or values when I'm working with pastels or anything for that matter. Make sense?
Yes, totally makes sense. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like when you're done.
That's always the
And I love the way you did your birch tree.
that's always the surprise for me. I mean, and it's I won't finish this in. Would we have until 1:30? I won't finish this
We
until
have until whenever you want.
okay, because I won't finish it in a half hour. Just sometimes that happens, and then sometimes it doesn't. My hummingbirds always surprise me. Sometimes I see a hummingbird, I get so inspired, and then the next thing I know, it's like, wow, did I really do that? So that's what I'm working on right now.
So, while I have you on here, Adrienne, for those of us that are local here in Connecticut, talk about the amazing event that's coming up with
Yeah,
your women's group.
yeah, I'm a part of this women's group. We're called Greenwich Pen Women. We're musicians, artists, and writers, and so I run the music. I'm the chair of the music part of that because I'm a musician, but I of course love art. But anyway, we're gonna have on April the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, and it's gonna be open to the public. We're going to have an event that's called Creating Art in the Daffodils with Music in the Woods. Music in the Woods is a nonprofit organization that provides, a friend of mine, she's a harpist, and she provides music programs for young children. But anyway, we're partnering with Music in the Woods, Greenwich Pen Women, and we're going to have a time of, first of all, this friend has, and I'm not kidding when I tell you, like 3 million daffodils on her property.
I love it.
3 million daffodils on her property. She is opening it up for us to come and to just do some plein air painting. And she's going to play, give us a concert while she's playing the harp. And then I'm asking people to bring their picnic baskets and blankets and chairs and just come out, bring your journals, your sketch pads, your easels, come on out and just join us and paint, while we're surrounded by these 3 million daffodils.
I love it. I love daffodils during this season, so it's going to be beautiful.
So I'm really looking forward to it. We had to reschedule it. It was supposed to be next week, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And she called me yesterday to say there's not one dandelion that's even remotely out of the ground.
So yeah, I know.
So,
Even mine up here, of course, I'm over in the North Pole, but
but mine are out. And so I was kind of surprised when she said that none of them are really out right now. So I just said, well, so her landscaper was saying that we should come Easter weekend. And so for what we're doing, I'm going to go over sometime that weekend, but for this to be open to the public, we had to change it to the weekend. And I'm sure that, at first I was worried that we would miss it. And then I was like, well, with 3 million daffodils, if 2 million of them die before we get there that weekend, we'll still have 1 million. Still be a lot.
exactly.
Still be a lot. All right, I'm
I'm excited about that. And I love listening to the music of harp. I just love it.
It's just so beautiful. And the pieces that she's doing, just a real beautiful time. It's going to be a wonderful time. So if you can come, you can put my email in the chat or whatever.
Yeah.
And anybody's interested, just to contact me. If it rains, just because still we're doing COVID practices, you just it's going to be canceled to the public, but for our Greenwich Pen women, we're still going to have it. But, if it rains to the public, it's not going to be open because not too many. I think she could probably have 25 or so
in the studio.
studio. Yeah. So because, Kellen, you're with me, you can come with me. Even if it rains, I'll make sure that once you let me know what day you want to come. Okay. Ask me some more questions so I can keep.
Let me just put your email over here.
Adrienne.Reedy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's in there now. Thanks, Holly, for joining us. Holly is jumping off now. She's from Idaho. I knew I was going to remember. It just came to me. So yeah, she's way over there. So interestingly, it's funny how Adrienne and I actually met, you guys. So I'll share that while she's painting. Is we have a mutual friend that I met through a art ministry foundational course that I was taking for a year. And she happened to be on it with me as well. And her name is Amy Hall. And Amy actually lives in the Carolinas, I believe, right? Carolinas or Virginia? Okay, Virginia. So Amy and I met, and then Amy connected Adrienne and I because she knew Adrienne lived in Connecticut. And Adrienne and Amy met through Convergence. It was a Convergence. Was it a course or just a study?
No, just it's their church. It's a.
Oh, okay. And that happened to have been online as well. And she connected the two of us, and Adrienne and I, just kind of hit it off. And Adrienne attended my day retreat that I had, my first day retreat last year. And that's how we met in person. And we've been friends ever since. And it's been a beautiful connection from the Lord.
The other thing that's so cool is because, the people that I've met now, like, I mean, I like people. I am a people person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It just expanded, just the art circles now, just
Mm-hmm.
the wonderful people, the creatives that, I've met, like, so it's been wonderful getting
And growing. Yep. Mm-hmm.
hang out with you. It's just, really a beautiful thing.
That looks so awesome. You can totally tell already. It's a bird. I mean, it's just amazing.
And so like I use these pastel sticks, and then I have pastel pencils where I can then find details.
Okay.
So I'll get that too. Still trying to get my colors here. Really.
So if someone wants to buy some of your artwork, where would they go to get some of your artwork?
I'm really bad. We're working on my my whole shtick. Look, I just like doing this stuff.
I know.
So if people come by, Jesus is about to fall off. But people really just by emailing me. I'm on Facebook, and I had a music website, but now we're changing because I do this and then the music and then the writing.
And now you can connect the two, the music and art.
Yeah, and then they call me Van Gal. That's my art name.
I love it.
Van Gal. My sister gave me that name because I kind of like just started going crazy with when I ran into this art thing, and it's just been a wonderful journey. So I'm getting all that stuff together, but right now I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
I'm just having a really good
now
time.
You have an art ministry as well, don't you, Adrienne?
What kind of ministry?
An art ministry, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So what is it? So share about you do everything. So share a little bit about that.
Well, no, I mean, with the art, I do.
Because I know you've done retreats.
Yes, I do something that is, I just developed a retreat that's called the Art of Re. And I use that Art of retreat to bring people together so that, and a lot of it has been, believe it or not, like pastors and chaplains and people who need to be restored. And this whole thing, I use my artwork and along with scripture to do like contemplative prayer. And so that when people just are using the did I get art? Do I no, that's the lighting. Okay. People, it looks like I have, no, it's the lighting. It looks like I have a lot of pastel on my face, but it's
No,
not.
you don't.
So anyway, what I was going to say is I allow the artwork to be used to help people reflect on, whatever scriptures or whatever. So it's called the Art of Re, and they're all re words, and
Mm,
like reflect, restore, and refresh.
mm.
Take, because I do like a lot of sunsets and landscapes and waterfalls or whatever. So I take that artwork and have scripture, and we do like a Lectio Divina type
Mm,
of approach to it, or Visio Divina. So
mhm.
people are able to allow the music, not the music, the visuals to draw them in. And a lot of times I do play my music along with it too. So just,
Love that.
yeah, it just depends. There's just, it's just endless. There's just so many things
Hmm.
that we do, or that we can do with this. And you know I just try to stay in touch and in tune to what's going on right now.
Mm.
you know God's he's
I
used.
can see how peaceful this is, by the way, doing the pastels.
Yeah. And he this is like he's using, he wants to use us to bring such beauty into our world. I
Yeah.
really believe that that's what he's doing. He's raising up artists like us
Hmm.
to go out there and to bring beauty.
Yes, to
They,
bring joy, joy to everyone. Yes, beauty and joy. Love it.
I really believe that. And so
Mhm.
I'm just having a ball. So much fun.
So
Prob-
speaking of Visio Divina, did you see how I was invited to go to Nashville?
yes, yes.
And it happens to be with Jesse Nillo, which is how I met Amy Hall. I'm so excited about that. It's my first big opportunity like that. I mean,
It,
what a blessing and
it,
what an honor to be invited.
it's this is what I'm talking about. It's just, it's so cool
Yeah.
how God is doing that.
Yeah.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. What I'm trying to do right now is go ahead and get this tree so that I could figure out, this bird
Oh,
actually.
your bird's going to sit on it. Yep.
So that's what you see me messing around with, and I'm.
Yeah. I mean, from looking at your reference photo, he's definitely not on a branch. He's
Right.
just kind of like on the actual. Yeah.
And so what I'd like to do is I try to just like kind of work um, without using the actual colors. Like you would think that, well, we know the tree is brown and it has certain, but I'm trying not to use those colors
Mhm.
intentionally.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the shades that you're using. And if you look at the picture reference, it has highlights of the blues on it from probably his feathers.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, and then do you see the purple in there?
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some purple in him.
It's really, colors are just, it's just really weird. I just love it. I just absolutely love it.
Let me see if I can attach the see if I can attach the photo reference into here. Let me grab it so that everybody can see it as well.
So Kelly, when did you start your morning? What do you call it? Your morning
My morning cup of Jesus.
cheese.
um, Probably around the same time that you got involved. 2018. It was 2018.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you that how often now are you doing that?
So now I do that Monday through um, Thursday usually is when I do my morning cups. Yeah.
Okay.
And what a blessing that has been. Of course, when I first started doing them, I knew nothing about going live. So I was literally, so I had to really prepare myself ahead of time and make sure I knew what I was talking about, because I was a nervous wreck and would spend I made sure I spent only like 5-10 minutes on there. And now I can't even get off of there. It's
Get
like,
off. Get off.
and I don't even prepare anymore. I literally in the mornings is when the Lord gives me the message that I'm going to be sharing. So it's just so funny how it's different than the first day.
Do prepare. You just don't,
Yeah,
because
it's a different kind of preparation. Yeah.
and that's I think that's what the other thing that God is showing up me is that when we prepare our hearts, we just have to uh, be, and
Yeah.
then we are being. He goes and does his thing. We can't just imagine. Like I feel sorry for so many people who miss out on this, and they don't able to really capture what is really wanting to do with our lives.
Yeah.
And so they get caught up and they think that it's one thing, and ugh,
Yeah.
I, I
Yeah.
I
And
really
that's why it's up to us. It's up to us to spread that joy to them, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So I should be able to I'll be able to share the picture when we are done. I can't do it while we're live, but that's okay. I'll definitely make sure I share the reference photo with all of you that are watching so that you have the reference photo as well. That is coming out so beautiful. I love it.
It's like I said, I don't usually like talk and do this. This is good for me.
I know I'm the same way when I am so zoned in to when I'm creating, I'm literally zoned in. It's so hard for me to be talking to someone.
We did the retreat. You were like, boom.
I know. It was, oh.
All right, I'm gonna throw some.
So speaking of retreats, so my retreat is, and I think I mentioned this to you. So I moved it down to September again, like I had it last year, and it's going to be on the weekend of September 16th. So I'm hoping that you could still join us and be my guest musician.
September 16th.
Yep.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Okay. Hopefully did we change it from
We changed it from April. It was supposed to be April.
right.
Yeah.
But at that time you hadn't given me a date. Is that what
Right.
it all right. So I'm not crazy in that I did not recall writing something down. Still trying to get some depth in here. So I'm still not liking. And that's what I do sometimes. I if I find myself getting too much in the weeds of what I'm trying to do here, I'll go to my background, or I'll go to and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I want to take this all the way out to here, which I will right now. That's not the color I want to use. And that's what's really good about pastels. Can't go wrong, baby.
So if you did make a mistake with a particular color, how would you correct it with the pastels?
I take my trusty old paintbrush and I just brush it off.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking maybe even like a just a little wipey or something, but I don't know if that would work or.
You don't want to do a wipey because again, this is sand.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
It's sandy.
you want to make sure that, whenever you use anything, like a paintbrush, a light little paintbrush will just whisk it right off.
Okay.
And that'll be good. It'll be good enough. So what surprises have you experienced in this art journey?
There's a lot.
Oh,
Well, again, so when I was introduced into this art journey back in 2018 as well, the surprise to me is that I specifically was not thinking of any kind of art ministry or anything. I just wanted to fulfill my needs because I was looking to grow closer to the Lord
okay.
in a more intimate way. And that's when he introduced me to Bible art journaling. And so through the Bible art journaling, I started, really just memorizing his scriptures, his word, like just getting deeper into his word creatively. And so because I loved it so much, I wanted to share it with others. And so I started sharing it little by little with some of my friends that, would just come and join me and do the same thing. And then it started exploding from there. So from there, the Lord just started opening up doors to do it with more people. And that's how my art ministry kind of just started.
So yours, it first started with the journaling?
It started with Bible art journaling, yes. And it was just for my own personal use, Yes.
And so you would just take some scripture and just draw a picture, or you would do.
Yeah, it was just basically taking scriptures, verses and just digging deep into the verse and creating something from about that particular verse.
So you would create a visual, like art visual,
Yes.
but not
Yes.
The lettering itself, the words itself. You would
Well,
actually.
I was doing lettering personally, but yes, that's kind of how I got into it on my own personal, intimate ways by doing a lot of lettering.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, whenever I gathered anybody with me, we would visually create something, whether it was a craft or, something with watercolor or colored pencils. It was very simple, but it was like a simple craft, just something creative regarding that particular verse.
Okay.
Hmm.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So that's how you got yourself.
That's how it all started.
And at what time? When did you start the classes, like at the Joseph House and all that stuff?
So yeah, so in 2018 was probably the first time that I started any kind of like gathering with women. It all started, of course, gathering with women. It's mostly women that come, but there are some guys now too. And then
Let me stop.
in 2019,
Let me just stop you for this women's, Greenwich Pen Women, the creating art in the daffodils. It's open to men and women.
oh, cool. Okay. So 2019 is when the Lord opened up some doors where I started going to a local cafe. And then I started going to a local Christian gift store as well, to also gather women together to do the same thing. Joseph's House didn't come until 2020. And then of course, several other venues started happening, from that moment on. And now it's just kind of, now my ministry has grown to where not only am I doing still my devotional art gatherings, but I'm doing a lot of painting events with the public as well to spread God's joy that way too.
That's wonderful. See, I just love how God just uses it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
such a wonderful thing. All right, I'm still trying to get this shadow in, and that's what you see me working on without using black. I tried to make the darker color of the colors that I'm using to make that. And so now, I'm going to start working on some details. I think at least he's a little fat. I'm going to put this up here a little more. I love bluebirds. I really do. I have so many bluebirds. All right, excuse me. Let me just get some pencils.
So yes, like I was sharing before about the bluebirds coming to my bird feeder. Now they've been coming back, so I've had already a couple of them.
Well, I'm hoping that they will set up a family so they can hang out, and I can see some babies flying, learning how to fly.
Aw, that's so cute. So tell us what you're doing with your pencils now. Are those pastel pencils?
These are pastel pencils. These are Carbothello um, um, art pencil pastels. They're actual pastel pencils.
Okay.
So I like to use them just to add more, like to make the feathers look more realistic. By the time with this,
So you use them to add more detail.
I use them to add more detail. Yeah,
Okay.
very good way to say it. I,
Ah,
I do. Excuse me, I have to duck a minute. I'm sorry. I should
uh-huh.
over here to get my pencils.
So for those of you that are watching us, if you have any questions that you would like to ask Adrienne about what she's doing, you can post it in the comments. And if we can't get right to it right now, we'll definitely get back to it, afterwards. But definitely feel free to share any comments that you have, as well as ask us any questions, and we'll be more than welcome to answer them for you.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Mhm. So when you create, Adrienne, do you create with music, or is it mostly quiet for you?
A lot of times for me, it's quiet. Because I'm constantly thinking, and I even though like I love worship music and all of that, I really do.
Mhm.
I'm just at this point in my life, um, I just want to hear what my thoughts are. I want to hear. I don't want any distractions. And
Mhm.
so if I have my time of like this for me, can take me to a whole nother place.
Mm.
And it's almost like the Lord really speaks to me when I'm doing this.
Mm. I
Yeah,
love it.
he
That's a
really,
good point. I never thought about that, because I like to do both ways as well.
yeah,
Sometimes I love to just listen to some music and worship while I'm creating, and then sometimes I just want peace and quiet.
yeah. And again, it depends, because like I have been in meetings like from the time I got up.
Mhm.
By the time if I am going to go and paint, it's like because I'm in meetings all the time, every,
Mhm.
all day, or preparing for planning meetings, whatever, so much that when I'm doing this is like it's me and the Lord, and that's why I love plein air painting, because then I'm like actually in nature
Yeah.
and I am just out there, and whew, it's such a treat. It's a
Yeah.
major treat.
So last night I had my expressive art class at the Connecticut Art Gallery in Thomaston, and one of the prompt that I used, the writing prompt, was, "What does your perfect day look like?"
Mm.
So I'll share with you what my perfect day looks like, Adrienne, but I'd like to hear it from you. What would a perfect day look like for you?
Perfect day for me would be get up early and have take a walk as the sun is rising.
Mm,
That is just one of those. I love that. Even if I don't get to see the sunrise, just being out and taking a walk. But I love to be by water, take a walk, watch the sunrise, and then
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
sorry. Now she's gonna my little what's this lady's name on this?
Alexa.
Alexa.
Both of them. Then plug in 30 seconds.
Sorry.
Be quiet, Alexa.
The Echo device.
Oh gosh. So what I like to do after that is, come, and a lot of times I'll go and I'll sit down and then play the piano, because I'm not a player, but as I play, I write songs too. So that would be like a wonderful, to come home, grab a bite to eat and sit down and just start playing, and then listening to what it is that the Lord has laid on my heart, or something that I saw. Or a lot of times I could be on the piano, and then it's just like, while I'm playing, just messing around, then I hear these transitional chords that just like work so good together, and then I might, write a song. And
Mm.
that is just really wonderful. So then I have my walk, and then I have my music of creating, and then if I have a chance to do some plein air, that is just heavenly. Get
Mm. I
my
love
and set up someplace, and then do some art, and then after that, if I get really really blessed and have some free time, at the art that I worked on, or the music that I worked on, tweak some words. I love just like getting these ideas and getting them out. I don't know, but like, I'm 61 now. And so now all of these things that have been in me, like I got to get them out. And
it.
so just getting out these ideas, these thoughts, these things that had been brewing in my heart for so long, and now having the freedom to do that. So I love journaling. I love getting all of this stuff out of me. And
Mhm.
um, after that, maybe, my husband and I go for a nice drive and watch the sun set.
Yeah.
I love sunsets, and have dinner someplace, or, I love cooking, and we have this really cool system here, because now it's just the two of us. I cook
Mhm.
a week. And so, you know, um, it's really cool when I can come home after a day of just creating, and then the meal is already cooked, and then I just get
It
to.
is very nice. I've been blessed like that too. Bob loves to cook, thank goodness.
Thank
So, like, he ended up making a pot roast last night that we're gonna have today, and I just can't wait to get into it.
you. It's like, it's just so wonderful, right?
It is nice.
So
It is nice.
anyway, that's what I do. That would be a
So it's funny that you talked about how your perfect day involves the outdoors because it's the same for me.
sunrise. I love sunset.
Yeah.
I love it, and I love music. I do. But like for me, my music is more. I don't have. I have a son who's a musician, and he comes home. This is like, you hear the quiet in my house, other than Alexa. But
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to you.
so
Try
I
restarting.
love the
Unplug
quiet.
both of
I
them.
love being
Rather
quiet. I love
badly.
the stillness of the day.
Mhm. Me too.
I got to unplug her.
Connected to the
They're so sensitive.
Mentioned her name.
So yes, my perfect day is being near water, and it's not necessarily the beach. Like, I just love listening to the trickling sound of streams in a river, and just again, just being around nature, God's creation, and creating, and just again hearing all the sounds of the birds and the crickets, and just the just life, in nature, along with the sounds of the water just trickling and stuff. I could spend hours probably just listening to like a waterfall or something. I just love that.
So have you been like really just so excited? We went away last week, and then to come back, the peepers, the little peepers, here,
Yeah, yeah.
the spring noise, the sounds of spring now is just so nice, and the days being longer now. It's so,
Mhm.
I love it. Love, love, love it.
I'm
So
enjoying just watching you.
now what I'm doing, I'm just like, I shouldn't be adding these details, because I really, what I want to do is I want to work on his head, and I usually, I'm left-handed, and so I'm usually on this side, and I would be blocking you.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to.
Well, again, I know you're not going to finish it because we probably should jump off because it's been about an hour.
But this
But
idea
but
of
I can't wait to see when you are done with it. If you could totally post a picture of it in here
I
so
will.
we can see.
Yeah.
Um, oh my gosh, it's been amazing watching you though.
I don't know if you can see, but it's starting to
Oh,
come.
you could totally see it's a bird. See, I love impressionistic art as well. So, I mean, that is very impressionistic to me. I'm not about all the little details and everything. Like, I would probably just leave it like that, maybe add an eye, and that's about it.
Yeah. I will bring as it will be impressionistic, but I'll bring even more detail into it. But
Mhm.
it's really funny because I'm taking lessons. I started taking lessons with a person that I met from India, and so
Okay.
with watercolor, because like the watercolor, I didn't realize that a person could be so detailed with watercolor, and and so I'm taking lessons to learn that, because I
Mhm.
like when I do pastels, there are people who would have taken this and they would have made a graph, and then they would have sketched it out. Oh, by the time I did all that, I'd be stressed out. Literally, I just want to get in there and just start doing it, and it comes through. Now,
Yeah.
you know, I I admire those people who are real super detailed. I want to be able to do that with my watercolor, but pastel is just this freedom
Yeah.
that I enjoy.
Yeah. I love it. And that's how I like to paint is with freedom. That is so amazing, Adrienne. I love it. I can't wait to see the final results and
Yeah,
how it looks.
yeah.
I love it. But guys, thank you so much for being here with us. And again, if you guys have any questions at all regarding pastels, regarding, creating with pastels, any personal questions for Adrienne or myself, then please add them to the comments and we'll come back and take a look and see, if we could answer them for you. But
Yeah.
I've been very, very excited to have Adrienne here with me. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me because I know that you have a very busy schedule.
Thank
And I'm very honored that you opened it up a little bit for me. So,
Absolutely. For you, I'm there. So
thank you so much. I can't wait to see how that's going to look afterwards. Enjoy while you can.
yeah.
And I will, blessings to everyone that has been on here with us. And I will see you guys soon. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.